And just one more from me. Beterbiev Bivol, the rematch. What a great fight that is in Saudi. How do you see that playing out, Saudi?
It's gonna be a really good fight again. Both are great fighters.
Canelo Alvarez and Dmitry Bivol collaborating may seem unusual, but it's not impossible. The question arises, what can Canelo offer Bivol? What advice does a former opponent have for the man who defeated him? Their partnership brings back memories of May 2022, when one of boxing's biggest upsets occurred, comparable to Mike Tyson's shocking loss to James "Buster" Douglas in the 90s. After that fight, boxing analysts like Tim Bradley noted that many had underestimated Bivol, simply because they didn't know much about him. However, he made his name that night by handing Canelo his second professional loss, the first coming against Floyd Mayweather. Now, Bivol finds himself in a different position, seeking redemption after suffering his own first career defeat. In October, Bivol lost his undisputed world light heavyweight title to Artur Beterbiev in a hard-fought battle. Despite many believing he had done enough to win, the judges ruled in favor of Beterbiev, stripping Bivol of both his title and his undefeated record. Now, just days before his highly anticipated rematch with Beterbiev, Bivol is looking for restoration. His alliance with Canelo Alvarez raises intrigue. Can he gain new insight from the man he once bested? With Bivol aiming to reclaim his throne, the boxing world waits to see if this partnership will be the key to his redemption.
Do you see yourself fighting a light heavyweight again?
Do you think I'm blowing?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's follow Doctor.
Bivol now faces a critical moment in his career after losing to the unbeaten BBV. While his reputation isn't severely damaged, this loss likely puts a halt to his pursuit of a mega fight. A rematch has been offered, and Bivol now has the chance to prove he belongs in the elite company of fighters like Floyd Mayweather, the only man to defeat Canelo Alvarez. On February 22nd, Bivol and Turv will meet again in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for an all-out battle for the 4 light heavyweight world titles. Their initial encounter, just 4 months ago, was a back-and-forth affair, with BBV receiving the majority decision to become the first undisputed 175-pound champion in over 2 decades. However, some boxing fans disagreed with the decision, feeling Bivol deserved the win. With another tight and highly anticipated clash on the horizon, the pressure is on for both fighters to leave everything in the ring and settle the score once and for all.
Yes. Who do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
Oh, Beterbiev.
Beterbiev?
Yeah,
Why is that?
of course. Because he's a champion. He has something to offer me.
In an interview with Fight Hub TV, unified super middleweight champion Canelo expressed his opinion on the rematch and said he finds it difficult to separate the two fighters. Both of them are excellent, thus this battle will be fantastic once more. Combatants after defeating Sergey Kovalev to earn the World Boxing Organization Light Heavyweight Championship. In November 2019, Canelo gained experience battling in the 175 PB class. He then made a comeback to the weight class in May 2022 to compete against Bivol himself for the World Boxing Association Light Heavyweight title. However, he lost this time by unanimous decision, and he continued to be the World Boxing Council, or World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization's middleweight champion. When asked if he would be interested in returning to the weight class mentioned above, Canelo did not rule it out.
One person that comes to mind.
No.
Bivol maybe? Just to get the rematch? Bivol maybe?
Bivol is one of the guys.
Canelo Alvarez's potential move up to light heavyweight could set the stage for a long-awaited rematch against Dmitry Bivol. The Mexican superstar has been linked with Bivol ever since their initial encounter, where the Russian handed Canelo his first loss in years. But now, Canelo's shift in weight classes might open up a new chapter in their rivalry. Speaking of Canelo and Bivol, Canelo's arch-rival, David Benavidez, has made his own thoughts clear on who he believes would give him a harder fight, Canelo or Bivol. Benavidez, the 28-year-old from Phoenix, Arizona, has been angling for a fight with Canelo for over 2 years, ever since he became the mandatory challenger for Canelo's WBC super middleweight title. Despite his persistent efforts, a fight between them couldn't be made, which ultimately led to Benavidez making the move up to light heavyweight. He's been making waves in the division, starting his 175 Wolves campaign in impressive fashion. Benavidez recently claimed the WBC interim light heavyweight title, solidifying his position as a top contender for the full WBC world title, currently held by Artur Beterbiev. Beterbiev is the undisputed light heavyweight champion after defeating Bivol in a thrilling October encounter. Beterbiev's dominance at the weight class has raised the stakes for anyone looking to challenge him. As for Bivol, his upcoming rematch with Beterbiev on February 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, promises to be a high-stakes battle for the undisputed light heavyweight titles. However, despite the current focus on Bivol and Beterbiev, Benavidez has certainly kept his eye on the winner. Benavidez's recent fight against David Morrell on February 1st further cemented his position as a force to be reckoned with. Despite being dropped in the penultimate round, Benavidez proved his resilience and skill, doing enough across all three judges' scorecards to claim the victory via unanimous decision. The judges scored the fight 115 to 111, 115 to 111, and 118 to 110 in Benavidez's favor. With this win, he not only retained his WBC interim light heavyweight title, but also captured Morrell's WBA light heavyweight regular belt. Benavidez's victory solidified his standing as the No. 1 contender for the undisputed light heavyweight title. Although facing the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol 2 hasn't always been top of mind for Benavidez, this win has brought him one step closer to a potential showdown with either fighter. Benavidez's aggressive style, combined with his punching power, boasting 30 wins and 24 knockouts, makes him one of the most feared pound-for-pound punchers in the division. Now, with the light heavyweight scene heating up, Benavidez is poised to challenge for the title in what promises to be an exciting future for the division.
Very much, like I say, if he wins the 175 undisputed.
For years, Benavidez maintained that he was entitled to fight Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight, but since Canelo has never been interested in this matchup, Benavidez eventually switched to light heavyweight. However, this does not mean that Benavidez has completely forgotten about Canelo, as demonstrated by his appearance on the Ariel Helwani show on February 3. When Helwani asked Benavidez who he would choose to win the Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch, he replied, "To be honest with you, I would pick Bivol because Bivol at Canelo. In other words, I would prove that I am superior to Canelo if I defeated Bivol." Interview. Then he added, "Dmitry Bivol is someone I know very well. He and I have sparred a lot. I would really love to face Bivol because he is an excellent fighter, and we have had many fantastic sparring sessions. Maybe Canelo would be persuaded to meet Benitez in a subsequent interview with Jim Lampley if Benitez were to defeat Bivol." According to the 8-year-old, a bout with Canelo would be simpler than one with Bivol.
Do you think he does?
I think so. He has the ability to do it. Beterbiev is a really strong fighter. It's going to be hard, but...
Money is the only thing that the Canelo bout offers me. Since Bivol defeated Canelo Alvarez, I am aware that a fight with him will be more simpler than one with Bivol. In defense of his unified super middleweight titles, Benavidez stated last week that he would not drop back down to 168 pounds to face Canelo, supporting his claims that the only thing a fight with the Mexican legend brings him is money. Canelo is scheduled to face pound-for-pound star Terence Crawford later this year.
Feel that your power hand was as effective as you wanted it to be? Or was it like banging on an anvil?
He's like a wall, to be honest. I didn't throw...
David Benavidez voiced his thoughts about the much-awaited light heavyweight bout between Dmitry Bivol and Joe Boo Boo Benavidez.
Great boxer and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't take nothing away from him, but he does a lot of weights. And in boxing, when you do too much weights like that, that's when you start to break down more. So
Benavidez had some scathing things to say about the defending champion, Bivol, who has occasionally been beset by ailments. Perhaps Bivol's slowdown is due to the fact that he is getting older and exercises a lot with heavy weights. In the end,
he's a great boxer and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't take nothing away from him, but he does a lot of weights. And in boxing, when you do too much weights like that,
he doesn't want to discuss what those individuals can and cannot achieve. But he stated his odds of defeating Bivol are getting so slimmer.
To break this wall, I was throwing it to target, because with guys like him trying to break the wall, you could be catching.
David Benavidez broke the bout in an interview with Shahzid, the newly minted WBC interim light heavyweight champion and the front runner.
Interested in beating Bivol, you know what I mean? That's what I'm more interested in. I'm interested in going up there, winning all the titles, and winning the respect from the people.
Did you score Beterbiev? Bivol won?
I thought Bivol won. I thought Bivol won.
In a stunning turn of events, Bivol, who has only been stopped once in his past 10 fights, talks about performing the herring theory based on his sparring experience and his time with former BAB head opponent Alexander Gick.
100% honest with you, the only thing that the Canelo fight brings to me is money. You know, it's not all about money. I want the respect from the fans. I know a fight with Canelo Alvarez is way easier than Bivol, because Bivol is the one that beat Canelo Alvarez.
Though Bai Bivol is a bow boxer, both are incredibly accomplished fighters of two distinct kinds. He's very sturdy, yet he hooves around a lot better. V simply comes at you and takes shots to deliver shots. He is a complete train.
So then what about Beterbiev? Yeah, what about Beterbiev?
He's 40, I think.
Okay.
He's 40, yeah.
He's gonna win that fight. Easy. He might stop him. Easy.
Eat.
Hey,